Hello Moto GP enthusiasts. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Ducati's faith in Marc Márquez remains unwavering despite his recent injuries and surgeries. The Bologna factory sees his struggles as rooted in physical complications rather than waning motivation, and insiders stress that his determination to continue is intact. With a 2-year renewal already agreed, Ducati is preparing for his return at Mugello if doctors give the green light, while making clear that his health comes first. Aprilia Racing will welcome Monster Energy as its title sponsor starting at the Italian Grand Prix in Mugello and continuing for the remainder of 2026. The deal fills a high-profile commercial gap for the factory team and arrives as Aprilia leads the manufacturer's standings and prepares for a busy summer of racing and development. For a brand that thrives on high-octane sports and global visibility, the timing and symbolism of this partnership could not be more powerful. Gresini Racing has announced that Álex Márquez will be absent from the Italian Grand Prix at Mugello and the Hungarian Grand Prix at Balaton Park after his heavy crash at the Catalan Grand Prix. The rider underwent surgery on his right clavicle following multiple fractures sustained in the incident and was discharged from hospital on Monday. Medical staff and the team have determined he needs time to recover before returning to competition. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Márquez's resilience has been tested by lingering complications from past operations. A displaced screw from earlier arm surgery bent and pressed against his radial nerve, intermittently robbing him of strength on the bike. This baffling condition explained why he could perform weight training and motocross without issue, yet lose sensation mid-race. The revelation came after a crash in the Le Mans Sprint fractured his foot, prompting him to accelerate planned shoulder surgery by 8 days. Chronic hardware issues like bent screws or nerve irritation are notoriously difficult to diagnose. Identifying the root cause allowed Márquez's medical team to design a staged plan, stabilize the foot, address the shoulder, and relieve nerve compression. This clarity transformed uncertainty into a roadmap for recovery. Márquez's comments about reduced pressure and altered mentality sparked speculation that retirement was near. He admitted he no longer felt the same urgency to dominate every round, leading some to question his drive. Yet once the nerve issue was identified, he explained that his doubts were misplaced. The problem was physical, not psychological. Before this, I took some time because I started to think that maybe the problem was me, that I had a mental block. Now I already know that's not the case. For elite athletes, distinguishing between mental blocks and physical limitations is crucial. Knowing his struggles had a medical explanation restored Márquez's confidence and reassured Ducati that his competitive fire remains intact. Ducati's support has been unequivocal. A 2-year extension, valid until the end of 2028, was signed months ago but not yet publicized due to broader negotiations with promoters. The manufacturer insists there is no pressure on Márquez to rush back. Medical clearance will dictate his return. MotoGP contracts of this scale often include clauses for medical contingencies. Ducati's public backing signals stability, countering rumors of short-term uncertainty and reinforcing their long-term commitment to Márquez as a cornerstone of their project. Ducati has prepared for a possible return at Mugello, less than 10 days away, pending medical approval. Mugello is a symbolic venue for Ducati's centenary celebrations, but the team emphasizes that rider welfare outweighs marketing or sporting considerations. Mugello's fast straights and heavy braking zones demand peak physical condition, especially for shoulders and wrists. Doctors will assess Márquez's functional strength, pain tolerance, and risk of aggravation before granting clearance. A cautious approach ensures his comeback is sustainable rather than symbolic. Within the Ducati garage, technicians shifted from anxiety to relief once the medical diagnosis was revealed. Márquez deliberately limited knowledge of his condition to Gigi Dall'Igna and race engineer Marco Rigamonti, ensuring only those with access to his data could interpret performance fluctuations. This transparency helped the team contextualize his inconsistent lap times and avoid misjudging his effort. Restricting sensitive medical information is common in Moto GP, balancing privacy with the need for technical clarity. Ducati's engineers now understand the physiological reasons behind Márquez's variable performances, allowing them to support his recovery with data-driven decisions. Ducati's position is resolute. Marc Márquez remains central to their future, and his health is the priority. The discovery of a physical cause for his struggles has lifted doubts about motivation, replacing speculation with a clear recovery plan. A Mugello return is possible, but only if doctors confirm he is ready. Whether he races in Italy or later, Ducati's confidence in Márquez's long-term competitiveness is absolute. His story is no longer about retirement rumors but about resilience, recovery, and the pursuit of further glory, provided his body holds up and time allows him to prove it. Monster Energy becomes Aprilia's principal partner from Mugello onward, giving the team a major global brand on its livery, rider suits, and commercial assets for the rest of the season. Aprilia had begun 2026 without a title sponsor, a rare situation in modern MotoGP where KTM, Honda, Yamaha, and Ducati all carried prominent backers. The partnership strengthens Aprilia's financial and marketing position, ensuring greater resources for technical development and elevating the team's profile in the paddock and beyond. It also signals Aprilia's arrival as a consistent frontrunner, worthy of the same commercial spotlight as its rivals. The agreement takes effect at Mugello, Aprilia's home round, making the announcement both strategically and symbolically significant. Mugello is one of the most iconic circuits on the calendar, and the Italian Grand Prix is a showcase event for manufacturers. Aprilia enters the race leading the Manufacturers' Championship after winning 4 of the opening 6 Grands Prix with Marco Bezzecchi and Jorge Martin. Launching the partnership at Mugello maximizes exposure during a marquee event, tying Monster's branding to a moment of national pride and competitive dominance. It also provides Aprilia with a morale boost in front of its home fans, reinforcing the narrative of a team on the rise. Monster already sponsors several MotoGP figures and teams. Marco Bezzecchi is a Monster athlete, and Pecco Bagnaia, who is set to join Aprilia next season on a 4-year deal, is also associated with the brand. This creates natural synergy between team branding and rider endorsements. Meanwhile, rumors swirl that Monster may reduce or end its title backing of Yamaha as Fabio Quartararo departs for Honda, potentially reshaping the sponsorship landscape. Aprilia benefits from existing athlete relationships, smoothing the transition and creating cross-promotional opportunities. The deal also positions Aprilia as Monster's flagship project in MotoGP, a significant coup given the brand's global reach. The move may complicate existing personal sponsorships. Jorge Martin, currently tied to Red Bull, will leave Aprilia for Yamaha at the end of the season, but his final months with the team could require careful management of branding conflicts. Similar sponsorship realignments have occurred before. Marc Márquez severed ties with Red Bull when he joined Monster-backed Ducati. Riders and teams must navigate brand conflicts with diplomacy to avoid contractual friction. Aprilia's management will need to balance Monster's visibility with respect for existing rider deals until transitions are complete. The Monster deal delivers both cash and marketing muscle at a time when Aprilia is consolidating on-track momentum. CEO Massimo Rivola had admitted disappointment at starting the season without a title partner, but the Piaggio Group's backing kept the team stable until this agreement was secured. Now, Aprilia can channel Monster's resources into technical programs, hospitality, fan engagement, and global outreach. With stronger commercial backing, Aprilia is better positioned to sustain its competitive edge, invest in innovation, and expand its influence in MotoGP's global marketplace. The deal also signals to rivals that Aprilia is no longer the underdog but a manufacturer capable of commanding top-tier sponsorship. Monster Energy's arrival as Aprilia's title sponsor is a timely commercial boost that aligns perfectly with the team's competitive form. Launching at Mugello ensures maximum impact, while existing rider ties to Monster create natural synergy. The partnership strengthens Aprilia's off-track position, enhances its global profile, and introduces new branding dynamics that will shape the rest of 2026. For Aprilia, this is more than a sponsorship. It is a statement of intent, confirming its place among Moto GP's elite both on and off the track. Márquez suffered multiple fractures in the Barcelona crash and had surgery to stabilize his right clavicle. He was released from hospital after the operation and will follow a rehabilitation program. Gresini's confirmation that he will miss Mugello and Hungary reflects a conservative approach to his recovery while further assessments continue. Further updates on his condition and any extension of the absence will be provided after follow-up scans and specialist reviews. The incident happened when Pedro Acosta's KTM experienced a sudden loss of power on the back straight. Márquez, running close behind, was unable to avoid the slowing bike and suffered a violent impact that launched his Ducati and scattered debris across the track. The crash prompted an immediate medical response and a transfer to the General Hospital of Catalonia for scans and treatment. The mechanical failure that precipitated the collision is under investigation by the relevant parties. Márquez's absence removes a key rider from Gresini's lineup for 2 consecutive rounds, affecting both race performance and the team's development feedback. Gresini has not yet named a replacement for Mugello or Balaton Park. Options discussed in paddock coverage include calling on experienced test riders such as Michel Pirot, or exploring other available riders depending on Ducati's and the team's priorities. Rider substitutions will depend on availability, contractual permissions, and the team's strategic needs for the home race at Mugello. The timing compounds a challenging period for Ducati and its satellite teams. Marc Márquez remains sidelined after recent foot and shoulder surgery. Fabio Di Giannantonio missed the test after sustaining a hand injury from debris, and Pecco Bagnaia has reported wrist and neck discomfort following the Catalunya incidents. Ducati's rider resources and test schedules will be adjusted as teams manage these absences. With multiple riders affected, manufacturers must balance short-term race needs with long-term rider welfare and development programs. Gresini will monitor Álex Márquez's recovery closely and issue further medical bulletins as evaluations progress. The team will confirm a stand-in rider in due course and adapt its race strategy for Mugello and Hungary. The priority remains a safe, specialist-led rehabilitation for Márquez before any return to riding is considered. Márquez will miss at least the next 2 rounds as Gresini and medical staff prioritize his recovery. The paddock will watch for the team's replacement choice and for updates on his rehabilitation timeline. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your Moto GP news update. And see you next time!